I am listening to, I guess, the King's Choir about to celebrate Mass, and they're dedicating their singing to Queen Elizabeth. And on this day of reflection, because it is going to be Christmas Eve this evening, I've been thinking about us and what we want as a society. Yesterday, I was busy reading the newspapers, and I was getting angry about so many incidents. If it wasn't construction, if it wasn't climate change, if it wasn't COVID, if it wasn't health care, if it wasn't voting rights, it was something. And today I thought about it all, and I said, sure, you can look at everything individually, and you could get really angry as hell. But that's not the problem. It is a problem, but it's not the problem. The problem is we have a society that cares only about money. And you got to make a choice. Probably a lot of folks thought that when your society is dedicated to money, it's going to come to us, the people, the lower classes, the middle classes, the middle upper classes. But guess what, folks? It ain't trickling down. The only way money comes to us is if it's codified in our laws. That's when money comes to us. When the National Labor Relations Board says, these are the laws of the land, this is how labor is to be treated. And then labor can have a seat at the table. And labor can have decent wages. And we don't have to worry about truckers and truck drivers. All these bottlenecks and supply chain problems, that was done because most manufacturers were not geared up to manufacture. In fact, what they did here in America is the people who are in charge of manufacturing overseas let everyone manufacture the goods and then told them, we don't want them. Now, I don't seem to have a short memory. I have a long memory. So I remember when Vietnam and all the other Asian countries were begging for payment on goods produced, and they weren't. And now, in 2021, everyone said, oh my God, we really need the stuff. Well, they snapped their fingers, but you know what? The stuff didn't come. Very honestly, if I was a manufacturer dependent on those people, I would have been holding up all that material no matter what, because I never got paid. You know, it reminds me of what happened at Ford Motor Company when I was in charge of prototype development. And I would see the cars come in and steal, and we would be testing them out. And one day, the manufacturer of the prototypes, which was a mom-and-pop business, contacted me. And they said, Joyce, you know, we're ready for the next season, and we haven't gotten paid for this season, and Ford owes us $5 million. This was in 1976. So I said, don't worry, I'll take it to accounting and see what's happening. And the first words out of the accountant's mouth at Ford was, why are they worried? We're not going out of business. I said, that's true. You're not, but they may, because they can't afford to now invest in another year without getting paid. So that shop got paid. It's not a question of whether or not you have the resources. You might have them. but the little guy needs to be paid. And I remember when the recession started, I used to pay my guys within minutes of them completing a job because they didn't have enough cash on hand to go to the next week without income. So as soon as the job was completed, I would take the cash into the city and give it to them. Take their payroll checks and just cash them out for them. And that's what we did because it was rough on the people. Forget me, I wasn't taking a salary. And that's not what's the mantra of today. The mantra of today is me first, and I don't care about anyone else. That's the problem with our society. Too many me, and not enough I am my brother's keeper. Not enough thinking about the Gospels of Christ or Judaism or Mohammedanism or any ism that you were brought up with. Love thy brother as thyself. Let's think about that for the New Year's, folks, because that's what it's really all about. It's about caring for the well-being of others and not being selfish in any way. Sure, it's nice to think about me, but it's all of us, and we're all in it together. And I don't survive unless all of you survive as well. So God bless you all, and have a wonderful and Merry Christmas. And start thinking about what is the society that you'd like. Is it really money first and money up front always? Or do we want a society that takes care of all its people, all of us, and gives us the equal opportunity and the equal happiness that we were endowed with and supposed to get? That was the promise of the Declaration of Independence: equality and justice for all. God bless you, and take care.